and then started seeing improvement within a week, 2 weeks. And I remember when I was talking to you on phone, you told me then in 2 weeks you'll feel such a big difference. I was like, this is impossible. And in literally 1 week, 2 weeks, I was just feeling so much better.
That's great.
And it just went from there, better and better every day. And
hi everyone, it's Mike, the Heal Your Gut Guide today, and we're with a special guest. Her name is Arpi. Say hi everybody.
hello.
And so she took our course, I think like back in March or April this year of 2018, and sounds like she's had some good results. But I'm going to let her take the stage right now.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is RP. So I have been struggling with ulcerative colitis for the last 8 years. Not anymore, but
Awesome.
and I came across to Mike's course back in March, and I took the course and I learned a lot and implemented it, changed my diet, and I have been medication free for a year now, and I feel great.
Awesome. That's so great to hear. Tell us about some of the medical treatments you tried out and what happened there.
I tried everything. So it started off when I first was diagnosed. I was 17 years old and I was in Armenia. Okay. And the standard medications, I was on sulfasalazine and mesalamine and some, just the standard medication that starts you off, and then as your disease progresses, you change medication because it stops working for you.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone struggling with colitis or Crohn's knows all this. But then as I got sicker, it started off just left side of my colon, and it kind of spread to 90% of my large intestine.
90%?
90%, yeah, was affected. So I was off and on medication first. It was helping, and then I came to US, and when I came here, it progressed and it became worse. I went to a hospital and I was there for a while, and then they put me on IV steroids right away without even asking me. Because I had been trying to avoid steroids before that.
Yeah.
So I was on that for a while, and it helped at the beginning. They gave me the steroids, and the next day I was fine. Then I was taking steroids for a year off and on. And then that stopped working. And then I had to go on Remicade infusions every 2 months. At the beginning, every month or so, even every 2 weeks, and then every month. I got that for a year, and it was working at the beginning, and then it stopped working. I had a flare, and it wasn't working. And my doctor was telling me either there's two choices: either we're going to double the dose of the Remicade. Instead of 5 milligrams, you're going to get 10, or there's always the option for surgery. So that was the point that I decided I'm just not going to pursue that route, and started changing my diet and looking for alternatives. I've always looked for alternatives, even from day one, and I've tried a lot of other methods and herbal and diets, and but nothing really. I didn't have any results from any of them, and it becomes disappointing. After a while, you try, and nothing really works, and you kind of lose your kind of hope that anything will ever help.
I was there too, trying all sorts of things and all drugs, and just kind of going in a circle. But that's really scary to get that prognosis from your doctor. We can up the dose, which we know does nothing, or we can cut things out, which sounds like a wonderful solution. So what were some of the diets you were trying to Like, what were some diets you tried, and what were the
Yeah,
results of
back
that?
in Armenia when I was first diagnosed, they put me low fiber diet, which was
Okay.
but high carb. Like I was eating pasta and white bread and white rice, anything white, to kind of, I guess, stop the diarrhea. And that's the worst thing really I could have done when I think back. But I started off with that and then changed into I was just not eating vegetables. But I was eating a lot of the pasta, a lot of everyday just pasta.
Mm-hmm.
And that was recommended by my doctor. It's funny.
That's pretty funny.
And I tried the vegan diet. First, I tried vegetarian, and that didn't do anything. It made my symptoms worse. And then I signed up with high carb vegan brothers, and I tried that for 3 months or so. And I was getting some results, but it wasn't sustainable at all, the diet. And in the end of the 3 months of the program, I was feeling like my health was being affected by it in other areas other than even colitis. Like my hair was falling out.
Oh my God.
And I had numbness in my right hand. And that's when I came across to your channel, and I was like, this is just not sustainable. I had some relief from my systems. I saw some difference, I think, because I cut out so many bad things from my diet, but I was down to 82 pounds.
Oh my God.
And literally bedridden. My mom was taking care of me. And then that was when I was like, I need to do something else. I need to change. It was a good starting point. It kind of put me on the road of, learning and, but it was really hard, and it definitely didn't heal me.
I hear that with a lot of vegan diets, the hair starts falling out, teeth start falling out.
My teeth was affected too. I'm still, it's funny because I was on it only 3 months, and I'm just shocked to see how many people are on it for so many years.
So tell us about your experiences with starting to heal your gut program, and what happened and kind of the route you took.
Yeah, I remember I had a phone call with you, and I was in such a bad shape at that time. And you advised me to go on a little bit of fast and do some ginger with hot tea, and raw honey. And I took your advice, and I saw, like, within 2 days, I saw some change, and I was like, okay, I really need to do what he says. So I got the course, and I pretty much followed. I didn't follow protocol by protocol. I just implemented everything because I was just in such a bad shape. I just had to adjust everything to build me up quick. And I started the raw milk. And I would say day 4, the first 2 days of starting the raw milk, I was even, I couldn't keep it in me, the raw milk. It would just come out as I drank it. And but I kept going. At day 4 or 5, I started seeing some improvement. I wasn't waking up at night anymore, and I was like, okay, I need just more of raw milk. And I started to drink a lot of it, and then I started eating eggs and cured meat, and then started seeing improvement within a week, 2 weeks. And I remember when I was talking to you on phone, you told me then in 2 weeks you'll feel such a big difference. I was like, this is impossible. And in literally 1 week, 2 weeks, I was just feeling so much better.
That's great.
And it just went from there, better and better every day, and still feeling great.
That's awesome.
in the last couple of months, I've really been off any diet at all. I've been in restaurants and traveling a lot, and I haven't had any issue at all.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
back at home, so I can get back to eating normal, but like normal, saying healthy, but really not been paying attention to my, eating the last 4 months at all.
That's amazing. That's good to hear. It sounds like you've healed quite a bit. So were you doing like a lot of the yogurt, or were you doing more of the milk? As far as like in a day, what was like your typical day like, you would say? Or
I think I started off with just raw milk.
Okay.
I think the first 3-4 days I just did the raw milk and maybe some egg, and that was all I was consuming. And after that 4 or 5 day 4 or 5, as I saw some improvement, I started having some cured meats, and then the yogurt. I didn't start the yogurt until after like 2 weeks. I got the yogurt maker. I made some yogurt and started that, and I couldn't my body had to somehow get adjusted to yogurt as well. At the beginning, I had some issues. I started very slow, with a tablespoon of yogurt, and then just built my way up. Then I was doing 2 big bowls of yogurt every day after that for a while. And then I did try kefir as well. I made my own kefir, and I did that for a while too.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Cool. Were you? How were you doing with organ meats? You sound like you might be good at that.
Oh yeah, I love organ meats.
Cool.
Yeah, I know you don't.
I'm trying.
But,
I'm trying.
Yeah, you're American, so. I grew up eating organ meats, so it's not an issue for me. I love organ meats.
Oh, that's so cool.
I ate lots of liver.
What were some of the things you were eating? Liver?
I ate chicken hearts. That's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Okay.
I eat liver a lot. I make it with lots of onions. I eat heart. I used to eat brain. I can't find brain here.
I want to try brain. I actually want to try brain.
It's really good. But been eating lots of liver recently, liver and chicken hearts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So, what was like an epiphany that you had when you were going through the course or watching one of our videos for the first time? Like, what was something, like a sentence that you heard or a lab study you saw where you were like, oh, this is making sense. I'm going to try this.
Everything. I'd say everything. Everything was pretty much backed up by, some sort of science or test. It's funny because I know why is it so confusing for people. Like I know I was so confused when I was trying to find a diet that would work for me. For example, garlic. I would never think that garlic would be good for me. I was recommended by my doctor to stay away from garlic, onion, because it's
pretty random.
I thought it was irritant. It was going to hurt me. I had ulcers. I was bleeding, and garlic, how it couldn't be good for me. But then it's just the opposite. Lots of things is just the opposite. What you were just taught, and you were just when you change your thinking that way, you don't eat things because. In other words, I was like before. I was trying to just eat things that wouldn't be irritating to my ulcers, but start eating things that actually fight infection, fight viruses, and boost your immune system. I think that's a big part of it, so that your immune system will fight these hidden viruses and infection too. And that's the answer.
Cool. That's awesome. If you had a time machine, what would you tell yourself on diagnosis day? If you could give yourself a couple sentences to get you on the right track.
Oh my God, just go to the neighbor. I had an awesome neighbor that, had cows. Just have some milk. You'll be good. Yeah, just it's amazing because when I was diagnosed, I literally had lots of neighbors.
Right
Where
under your
I
nose.
was, they had raw milk. And I never knew that it could ever help me. And if I knew, just they first start drinking some raw milk, and that would be good.
That's hard to see. But that's some good advice. That's some
Mm-hmm.
good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Any last words you want to tell people before we close out?
I know that everyone watching this is probably looking for answers as well and looking for assurance. Because when I was when I was trying to heal, I was watching every single YouTube video I could find and reading every single information that came out. I'd say don't give up. If you are, everybody is different. For me, I saw the results very soon, but for you, it could take longer. Let your body get adjusted, to your new diet, and just keep going, and trust, because I really have tried so many things, and it really does work.
And one thing I want to point out about Arpy is she grew up on good food, like organ meats and stuff like that. So her body is going to heal much faster than me with someone who was on a really crappy Western diet.
Right. And my problem was the antibiotics. That's when my issues started.
Okay.
I think if I didn't weren't to take the antibiotics, I would never had this issue. I truly believe that. I was getting treatment for my joint pain that I was having at that time, which I think something was already going on, maybe. But they end up taking huge doses of antibiotic. I started seeing some blood, and it went from there.
Oh, wow. Yep. Well, sorry you had to go through all that, but I'm glad to hear you're doing better. And yeah, thanks so much for sharing your story.
Oh, thank
I
you,
hope it helps
Mike.
people.
You really are such a great inspiration for people. And
Thank you.
the amount of research that you have done, the amount of time you have put into this, you have not only healed yourself, but helping so many people. We really appreciate that.
Thank you. All right. Bye, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.